Hey guys, welcome to Chalk Talk, where we talk chalk, but the chalk don't talk back. We're going to start this episode strong. Eddie, tell them what our first topic's going to be.
Today on Chalk Talk, we'll be talking about abortion, drug and alcohol abuse, or anything about drug and alcohol, and marijuana laws.
The legalization
and California.
issues.
Legalization issues.
Yeah.
Whatever we know, we'll tell you guys. Chalk Talks! Fuck yeah! Where people around the world are come and hear us talk. We're gonna talk to some goddamn chalk! Chalk Talks. Where we talk chalk, but the chalk don't talk back. Alright, so abortion, pro or against?
I'm pro-abortion, personally.
Pro-abortion.
Yeah, what about you?
It depends on me personally. It depends
Well, as far as a woman just saying, I don't want a kid, I'm pregnant, I don't want it, and they just want to get an abortion, what do you think about that?
If you have the means of taking care of the child, I think it's wrong.
So you think if they have the means to take care of the child, but they just don't want a kid, then you think it's a problem? Okay.
If she's just like, well, I don't want this kid, you know what I mean? I think it's like, hey, you had the responsibility of having sex. You made this kid, so it's not his fault or her fault.
Yeah. Now, see, that's another thing that I'll disagree with there. I think that as far as abortion goes, if somebody feels like they're not ready for a child, I'd much prefer that they get an abortion other than have a child that's unwanted and has to live in either foster care or as a kid that just has nobody that loves them, you know? Like, who wants to grow up? Like, I have people that I know that have grown up in foster care or in homes because they don't have a place to go. They don't have anybody that wanted them as a child. So, me personally, I would much rather somebody who doesn't want a child get an abortion than just bring an unloved child into the world.
I'm saying if you think that you are not ready for a kid, then just don't have sex. But at the same time, that's hard to do, right? Because everybody's horny. Come on.
That's the thing too. Is
There's a lot of horny people.
That's one of the most terrible arguments that I have heard people say is, well, if you don't want to have a kid, don't have sex. Well, that's
okay.
You know?
Well, then wear a condom. They're there for a reason. I know it doesn't. Dude, they've made like ultra fucking thin stuff.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even with condoms, the chance is there. They're all single type of contraceptive.
But it reduces it though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it does reduce it, but every type of contraceptive is only up to like 99.9%. There's always that 0.1%.
Yeah, but imagine, but if it fails, then okay, it's kind of a little more reasonable to be like, all right, well, I mean, it failed. It was that fault instead of it's your fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just pulling out. It's okay. It's cool, but. It feels good, but I mean, like,
the pull-out method.
You can't, like, it doesn't work all the time, especially with virgins. You can't do it. It's like, it's not going to work for you.
After so many years of sleeping on a pull-out couch, my pull-out game is beyond strong.
Now, when I think abortion as in, like, the woman got raped.
Oh, yeah.
Or she doesn't have the monetary means to take care of a child. She has like 4 other kids and she got pregnant again. I'm like, all right, well, that's in the case where I'm like, okay, first of all, when you get raped, I don't know how I would get raped, but it's a real messed up situation to be in, and especially to be pregnant.
Yeah,
like,
I don't feel like a rape victim, and this is one of the most horrible things to me about that situation. I do not feel like a rape victim should be forced to take their rapist child to term and have that child. I
understand people would come in a different perspective and be like, well, it's God's kid and this and that.
That's the
and
thing.
I'm just like,
at that point, you're bringing so much into the situation that needs to be dealt with. Like, that woman has to now deal with this, and if she doesn't want to raise that child, who's going to tell that child why his mother didn't want him? Who's going to give that kid that information? Like, oh, your mother didn't want you because you were a rapist, baby. Like,
yeah, like,
who wants to give a kid
my
that
dad's a
information?
fucking scumbag, right? Like, yeah, I don't know.
My mother thought I was a parasite. Like, who wants to give that kind of information to a child? Like, who wants to tell anybody that? I'm 21 years old. I don't want to hear that.
Now, also thinking about the people who are like stand outside of clinics and stuff, and they go, fuck
picketing and all that.
Like, you're just wasting your time. If you really want to make a change, you don't stand there. Like, okay, move, like, going on to like the big ass freaking thing we recently had, the big ass like people marauding and stuff on the streets.
Oh, with the Planned Parenthood.
No, with the Trump, because Trump got elected, blah blah.
Oh yeah.
What did that do?
It
didn't do anything. Like
it damaged property. it made people angry. People
it
got
didn't
arrested,
do shit.
You know?
So if you're gonna go out and like want to be an advocate for abortion, make a website. Go and get signatures.
Exactly.
Like do stuff like peaceful shit. You can't just go out there and start busting windows of
things that
clinics
have been
and stuff.
proven to work. Like just for example, I've never seen a riot actually change anything that. Well, I've never seen a riot change anything good. I've never had.
Right then and there, no.
No.
But as for like giving people, like making people talk, it has.
Yeah.
Because like the Ronnie King riots, when that happened,
it did make people talk.
At that moment, it was so horrible and bad. But in the future, like it kind of gets people thinking, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing: in the future, people they got signatures, they did rallies, they didn't have riots, and that's what fixed it. Not the riots weren't what fixed it. The riots brought attention because the riots were terrible.
Can you guys imagine like if Martin Luther King Jr. would have just told all African Americans like go start like causing mayhem? That would have just ended up in like mass murders and more violence and stuff like that.
There's a lot of things that go with that. And another thing going on, because we're going on a different political tangent there. We're jumping into something else. Let's go back to the abortion portion. Planned Parenthood, I do believe it should be funded. I really do.
Yeah, it should.
It really should, because honestly,
they're trying to take funding away from that, aren't they?
Yeah, they're trying to completely take funding away from Planned Parenthood and pretty much get rid of it. And I personally think Planned Parenthood should have whatever funding it needs, because people seem to misunderstand that abortion is just one, a minute thing of the many things that they do. Planned Parenthood helps people that do have their children and not get abortions.
They give free contraceptives,
They give free contraceptives. When you go in and you don't wish to have an abortion, but you are going to have trouble having a child, they help look for a family that will care for that child, or they help you and point you out to places that'll help you get on your feet so you can keep the child
people think,
yourself.
Planned Parenthood kills
It's just
babies.
abortion, that's it.
No, they help with so many other things too.
That's just one of the very minute amount of things that they do in a day, you know? It just it makes no sense to me to completely unfund one corporation just because one thing is unliked. That's like unfunding the U.S. military because they kill people. That's it. That's it. Because you only don't like that portion. Like, there's a million other different relief options and stuff they do to help people around the world. But because soldiers have to shoot people, you just decide, nope, no more military. We don't want that now.
Exactly.
It's a bad idea.
No. I don't know. It's just like, I think if it was your choice to get pregnant, just have the kid.
Question. So there are a lot of things going out right now because of the difficulty in decision between male to female. So say you have sex with a woman, she gets pregnant, she does not want to have a child. She does not want to go through the experience. She doesn't enjoy it, but you want the kid.
There's another thing I see too. We should have 50-50 choice in choosing, like, if I want to keep the kid. Yeah. If I make a baby, I mean, it's not just me. It's the other person that's making the kid too. So it's like, it's not just them. Why do they get the choice to be like, I don't want to quit it? I understand that it's your body.
I feel like if you go through a situation such as that where you have a woman that goes through and doesn't want the child, you can give certain benefits to different things to that. Because unfortunately, like say a woman has a child and the man doesn't want it, well, they're stuck with child support and things, right?
Wow,
that's
that's
one of the things that is crazy with me, and it's really sad because in court cases, most times, and this is why it's
the kid's stuck in the middle always.
And this is why this is such a big issue now, is that if a woman is pregnant and doesn't want to have the child, and it goes to court because the dad wants the child to be born, they are at least 80% more likely to side with the woman. They will. That's just how court cases work. It goes the same with custody battles and things like that. They will side with the woman every time.
That's true. Unless, like, she does some, like, drugs and shit.
Or she's
something really bad. She's, like, been in trouble and stuff before. But as far as that goes, I think, like I said, it seems hard. Like all these people that say, or that I guess, or like those websites that are actually we're looking up right now a website, and they're like showing pictures of like babies,
the percentages,
and the babies that like they gave us pictures and focal points to be like, oh, look at this. This is why it's bad. They're like full term.
To be honest with you, looking at a website like that, seeing the pictures in full detail, understanding what's happening, that's going to get me to pay attention a lot more than somebody with a sign cussing at pregnant women.
Most definitely.
That's going to
like I looked at the picture and I was like, damn, that's actually pretty freaking sad.
That gets you to look more into detail.
Yeah. Instead of just going out and sitting there. Honestly, I'm not going to waste my time and go out and sit there with a freaking picket sign and just be like, hey, I don't... It's a waste of time.
It took me 30 minutes to make this cardboard sign and I want to yell all day.
I think if you want to change people's minds, it's more mental than it is physical. So use your smarts, use your brain, and write letters and advocate through the internet, through social media. Dude, social media, that's the best place to do it. Social media pushes it.
Like, let's be honest here. And some people misunderstand. When we say that we don't like those public displays of displeasure and things like that, we're talking like people who flip cars and break windows and start looting just because...
Who like get in other people's ways. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like cause traffic jams.
Blocking the freeway because you're unhappy with something. That does nothing but make people not like your cause. It gives people a bad image of what you're trying to do. When you walk up to someone nicely with a paper in your hand with signatures on it and say, hey, would you mind if I talk to you about this? We're trying to better the world, and do something like that. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to stop for a second and I'm going to talk to you.
And don't be mad if they freaking say, no, I don't like that shit. Just be like, all right, cool. That's fine. Move on to the next person.
Be the bigger person. Because, let's be honest here. If I'm trying to go to work and somebody's blocking the freeway,
I'm going to get pissed,
I'm going to be upset.
Because you're taking out of my money.
I've got a life to keep. If I'm late for work, I could lose my job. So at that exact moment, I'm not thinking, oh, these people are blocking traffic because they want equal rights for blacks and whites. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about trying to get to work and not lose my job.
I'm thinking about, if you don't get out of my way right now, I'm going to freaking run you the hell over.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter who it is. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's people for Black Lives Matter standing in the middle of the road. It could be a bunch of white people with a Confederate flag. You're all going to look good flying over my hood.
Exactly.
It doesn't care.
Hey, I need to get to work. I need to get to work.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on back to more of the abortion stuff. So where I stand is, if you make the choice and you have the financial stability and you love, like, or you might not even love the guy, but I mean, like, keep the kid.
Right. So
lives are awesome.
Let's just go down.
I would not want to see a kid, like, I hate seeing those pictures on those abortion no shits. And as far as the other side that goes, like, if you get raped and stuff, I mean, that's like...
Yeah, we both agree that if
and the age, too. Age, if you're young, like...
Oh, yeah, if you're too young, like, say, a 15-year-old gets pregnant. So, let's just go down a quick thing. So, if the girl is young, you say, yes, they should be able to get an abortion. If the girl is, like, way too young,
if she's, like, in high school, dude, it's going to ruin her high school career.
So, we both say yes to that, right? So, if a woman gets raped and she doesn't want to take the baby to term, that's a yes, right? Now, we both, I think, we're also in the same boat as far as... if
you're a nympho and you just like having sex and you get pregnant, no.
I
keep the baby.
Personally, get an abortion. Go ahead.
No, keep the baby.
I believe that you should be able to. However, this is the one thing that I'll say, and I believe we'll both agree on this either way, because you think that abortion, you don't like it in the first place. But I say, I go ahead and get an abortion. But if the father is involved... Say if you get pregnant and the guy's like, I don't want a kid, and you're like, oh, I don't want a kid either, get an abortion. But if the father wants the child, that's if
you don't want the kid, give it to the dad.
Give it to the father. Give it to the
father.
That kid
will have at least one family member.
Have an arrangement with him that, you don't want him coming after you for child support and all that. And I'm sure he'll be fine with it if he wants the child, if he truly wants it for the reason of having a child. That's the only time that I personally think abortion is absolutely wrong, is if you get pregnant and the father wants a baby and you deny him the chance at having that child that he just conceived with you. Absolutely. That's the only time that I personally think that is terrible.
Absolutely. And, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, man, it's like so sad though to see like these pictures. It's crazy how you could just post pictures on your website like that too.
Well, see,
just like disgusting like photos like that.
That's the thing,
like,
though. It's their own domain name, and
dude,
there's no limitations.
I wouldn't want to. I don't want to see that. Like, okay, it's cool. Like, it gets me into it. Like, well, that's sad. But at the same time, it's like, just tell me about it. I don't want to see it.
That's why they post it, though, because you look at it and visually it makes you displeased, right? You feel bad for it, so it hooks you. That's how they do it. That's how they bring their attention, and that's how you're supposed to do it.
Not to me. I am a visual learner, but to me, like disgusting stuff like that, like chopped off heads and stuff, I can't. No, just give me the information. I just can't deal with the rest.
Yeah. That looks like our 15-minute timer is down.
15-minute timer's down.
We're going to move to the next topic.
Intermission. I should probably put my volume up. Moving on to our next topic, drug and alcohol.
And this goes for use.
Talk about this because Coachella just passed by. So
Coachella just passed by and people are in jail. All right, so when it comes to drugs and alcohol, we're going to be talking about, the difference in abuse, which one we think is worse, and they just go over the
how
level
they
of
affect
different,
you.
Different drugs right now that are legal.
What drugs we've done. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, God.
Excuse me.
That's a bad idea, but we're going to do it. All right, so let's start off with just, let's go down a list of different drugs that we know of specifically and the effects possibly that we've seen. Like,
let's play a game with it. Let's see who can come up with the most drugs.
The most drugs?
Okay. I can't do that because I'm just going to steal yours.
Let's go back and forth. Okay. You do one, I do one.
Cocaine.
Okay, methamphetamines.
Ecstasy.
Oxycontin.
Marijuana.
Give me a second. I've got this. I'm drawing a blank. You go again. That's
Adderall.
It's a legal one, yeah, I guess.
Quaaludes.
Give me a chance to get one.
Heroin. Am I the worst one here?
Yeah, I guess he wins, but the whole point of it is there's a lot of drugs out there. There really are. There's way too many to just list off. There's many. Like, remember that one crocodile?
Yeah, there's one called crocodile.
It literally eats away at your body. Like, you literally will inject it somewhere in your body, and your wherever you injected it, that portion will start to rot off of your body.
Why
just
would you
for
do
the high?
that?
Like, how I don't understand how.
There's literal plant. Like, there's freaking. What are they? They're called beans. Something beans that you can eat, and they'll literally like get you high.
I have no idea.
Keep talking to the camera real fast. I'm trying to look this up.
Well, let's come up with another one. You remember? I think it was a few years back that a man took bath salts and ate the face off of another guy.
Oh,
you remember that? And they went up in arms. And everybody was like, "Oh God, a zombie apocalypse!" No, that would just be drugs and how badly they fuck people up. They affect people terribly. It is honestly horrible how badly they can mess someone's head up.
MDMA, that's another one that I just found.
Oh, MDMA, yeah, that's one too.
That one's new on the streets, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's entirely new. I don't know how long it's been going. Did you say ecstasy?
I said ecstasy.
You did say ecstasy early on? Yeah, because that's one that seems to be more popular with the partying crowd as far as it goes with Coachella and everything like that.
Ecstasy, marijuana, alcohol.
Now, which
alcohol
ones?
Too.
Let's go down the list of what we think should be in
legal?
And out of circulation. Yeah, legal as far.
Legal. Okay. All drugs. I think all drugs should be legal.
I agree.
All of them should be legalized.
I think we should do the whole remove the warning labels and let natural selection weed itself out kind of thing.
No, I don't know about that.
No,
I think we should still have the warning labels, but we should allow it to be legal. Because if you make it legal, you're gonna you're gonna get rid of all kinds of fucking drug dealers. These guys that are just sitting here.
If the government's dealing things out for
the
money.
The government's dealing it out. Look, we could even get more money, like less taxes. There you go. Make drugs legal, less taxes. We should make every drug legal for that reason. As in, like, if you know what drugs do to you, and we should actually add more drug involved education in schools.
True.
So it's like educate people on what it does to your body. And if you still choose to do it after that, you're a dumbass.
Because honestly,
and you deserve to be
nowadays
stuck on it.
we barely even have sex ed classes anymore. Most people get up in arms if their child has to take a sex ed class. Mm-hmm. There's literally early on going through middle school and high school, there is hardly anything as far as drug warnings other than those like people that come once a year to tell you, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Yeah. There are no classes.
There wasn't
There's
even
no
a sex ed in my school.
Yeah, exactly.
When
I had to learn the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I had to experiment myself.
mean,
I had a couple scares in my day.
Man, you should have seen me. The thing just popped up. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I didn't know.
I
what
was
to do with
scared.
it.
I was like, "Whoa! What is this? Alien vs Predator!"
I thought I was dying. I was terrified.
Oh God!
It started spitting at me. It was horrible. All right, so
as far as drug abuse, don't do it.
Yeah,
it's bad. You can try it, but don't get addicted to it.
Yeah.
Never try meth. That's the worst.
It is
do that
the
shit
worst.
once, and you'll be addicted in a matter of hours.
That's my point too. There's no warning. So when people go through school and they don't get a warning about all these different drugs, and somebody comes up to them and says, "Hey man, you should try this." They think it's like everything else. They think it's like a cigarette or alcohol. You can pick it up and put it down.
And
That's
then
not how it
stop
works.
later, and
they'll try it once. All of a sudden, they have no car, no house. They're missing all of their teeth. Like there's so many different issues with that.
Okay, moving on to alcohol. What do you think about alcohol?
I love alcohol.
I love alcohol too. It's crazy. I love to drink, and it's kind of crazy too. I shouldn't be drinking alcohol because I have on both sides of my families I have alcoholics. So I'm like, technically,
technically,
I have a risk of becoming alcoholic.
Well, that's not a thing that's hereditary necessarily.
But I know that I have a strong enough mind to be when I want to stop, I can stop.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I can stop drinking for a month and just be okay with it. Like, cool, whatever. I'll just pick up something else, like running, working out.
That's
something.
the thing too, though. Like when we drink, we're not the type of people that we drink in excess. We don't.
Yeah, we don't black out. I've never been blacked out.
I have once. I don't remember.
Story time.
Oh, story time. I'm not sure what that was at Eric's house. Remember, we had that party, and you guys had an entire video of me asking me questions.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there.
Oh, they lit them on fire.
Actually, yeah, they did. I was completely blacked out one time. I had started out, I'd met this guy by the name of Go-Go, or at least that's what everybody was calling him, and this man hyped me up beyond reason as soon as I got from the party. So every time he handed me a drink, I drank it. So when I got to the point where I was actually buzzed and drunk, if I wanted to take a drink, I'd be like, "Where's Go-Go? Let's take another shot. I'm ready to go." And it got to the point where I had mixed like several different alcohols, and it was bad.
That's another bad thing.
No, at one point, this happened. I remember dancing, having a good time, and I remember waking up at 7 a.m. Everybody else is asleep around me, and I'm laying on a pillow with a plastic bag covering it.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, holy shit, I completely missed like 8 hours of my life. What happened?
Oh God!
And
that sounds ridiculous.
And as far as he said with the lighting on fire, yeah, they were messing with me when I was drunk, asking me all sorts of stupid questions here and there. And I guess at one point they had been sitting in front of me. One of my friends was playing with a lighter, trying to get it to light the whole time, and it never did. And they didn't actually light me on fire, but I did. I thought they did. I was drunk. So they ended up leaving me alone with one of our friends, and he's going like this, lighting it next to my pants for like for a good 20 minutes while asking me questions. And I got to the point where I finally was done with him questioning me.
You got scared. He was like, "Oh, fire!"
No. Here's the thing. He was questioning me, and after a while, I was like, "I don't want to answer questions anymore." So everything he asked me, I went, "My dick," and that was my answer for like 10 things in a row. Before he went like this, he pretended to light the lighter, and he went, "Da, you're on fire. You might want to put that out." And he went inside, and they left me outside drunk. They left me outside, blackout drunk, and he said he lit me on fire. So I stood up and went like this. I stood up, and they have it on video. They left the camera right there videotaping me, and all you see is as you see me stand up and just bam on the floor. I'm done.
No.
That's it. And I guess that's
as far as me. I've never been blacked out. I have been drunk to the point to where I'm just like, really intoxicated.
See, that's the thing.
I mean, I remember everything. Okay, I remember like spots of what's happened. But I've never been like extremely like to where I wake up the next morning, I'm like, what the fuck happened in the past 8 hours?
That's
dude?
the thing though. Like after that, I never did that again. That actually worried the shit out of me to not remember, but be awake during the whole time I should have remembered
That's
it.
Scary.
That's a scary thought to me. Anything could have happened.
That's like sleepwalking.
Yeah, that's how people die. And that's one thing I'm glad I don't do is sleepwalk. So ever since then, I drink, but I have never drank in that much of an excess.
I get a buzz and I'm like, I'm good, dude.
Yeah, I'll
That's
drink
it.
slow for the rest of.
Or
rest
like
of the time.
sometimes I'll be like, I'll get a buzz and then 30 minutes later I'm like, oh, I'll have like 2 shots. Then after that I'm like already getting wobbly. Then I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be like, all right, I'm sleeping in the next 30 minutes, so I'll take like 4 shots, get to the point where I'm like almost falling over and just go to sleep.
See, that's one thing that I have trouble with. I can't sleep while I'm drunk.
You can't?
No.
Oh, dude, I'll pass the fuck out anywhere.
You know why?
I hate sleeping at other people's houses. I love sleeping in my own bed, but I will sleep literally on the street if I get like,
this man will walk home no matter where your home is, okay? Say we're like maybe 7 blocks away and he's drunk and can't drive and somebody took his keys like early on in the night. We'll wake up and this man won't be there and we're like, where'd he go? And he'll literally walk home every time.
I've walked up to 15, 20 miles before to get home because I just didn't want to sleep over someone's house.
Ridiculous. That scared the shit out of me the first time I had him over to my at a party at my house. It scared the absolute crap out of me. I woke up, it was like 6 a.m. and he was gone. And I went looking for him. I was like, where's this man go? He was drinking with us. His car is still here. Where is he?
I couldn't get anything to drink, so I had to stop like 5 miles in. I had to stop at a 7-Eleven, and I only got a cup this big because them assholes didn't want to give me anything else. They gave me a cup this big of water, and I drank it, had to walk. The sun was coming up, so it was getting hot. By the time I got home, I was so dehydrated. I drank a glass of water, fell asleep. Next morning when I woke up, my body had like atrophied because I needed water in my body. Like I was so dehydrated, and my whole body was sore because of how much I walked. Yeah. But if you guys are gonna drink, don't drink to an excessive amount to where you're gonna be like totally passed the fuck out and you're just gonna be done.
I did it once. I'll never do it again.
Drink till you're buzzed and you're good. That's it.
But as far as I think, I do agree with Eddie in the sense that we should have all the drugs legalized. But I do, however, believe that they should be legalized to an extent as alcohol is, where there should be,
age
limitations.
Limit. Oh, hell yeah.
Age limit. There needs to be limitations on, operating vehicles and things like that.
How much you can have.
Yeah, how much exactly that should be.
You can't have like 3 kilos of cocaine and they're like, oh, it's legal. No.
Yeah, no, like
how much does one person really need?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I feel like there should be regulations and there should be limitations, but they should be illegal. Or they should be legal, sorry.
They should be legal.
They should be legal. Because, there's at some points where a lot of drugs were illegal at some point for medical reasons, right? Mm-hmm. There were many drugs that were legal as far as medical reasons. Like, they used to give out cocaine as a cure for headaches.
Yeah.
They used to give a lot of crazy things out.
Like everybody says, there was cocaine in Coca-Cola.
That's why it was so addictive, apparently.
So legalize that. What do you think they should keep? Do you think they should keep the... Because you know how they're going to do marijuana. Oh, they moved cigarettes to 21.
Yeah.
They moved... Alcohol has been at 21. Do you think that they should lower it or they should move it up?
I think it's fine where it is, personally. Honestly, lowering it or moving
maybe
it
we're
up.
used to that, though. You know what I mean? Because when I was 16, I was like, damn, I wish it was 18 and then I could start drinking at bars.
And smoking, but now 21 for smoking and drinking is a thing.
Yeah.
So you can't really do anything about that.
I kind of wish they would actually move it up to 25, simply because when you're kids. Like I was saying, I wish that they would move it up to 25, simply because, like, we no longer have anything to look forward to anymore. Think about it.
Yeah.
We have nothing to look forward to anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, what am I going to look forward to now? When I was 16, I was like, can't wait till I'm 18. Then I could go to a strip club.
That I feel bad
then
about.
When I was...
Because we're already of the age where we can drink and smoke. But I remember being a kid where I was like, yeah, I can't wait to be an 18. I'm going to be an adult. I can buy tobacco myself. Now the kids are like, yeah, I'm going to be 18. What do I get out of this?
Nothing.
18 isn't the age anymore. 21 is now the set age for everything.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like... Where I'm at now, I'm like, yeah, I think they should move it up to 25, simply because when I have kids, I don't want them to be legally doing this shit till later in life.
Here's the thing, they're not. That's my biggest issue with the legal age limit, quote unquote age limit.
Well,
the kids are gonna do it regardless. You know what I mean? Well, come on now. You know how many people out there tonight are probably gonna drink or smoke illegally and just do whatever they want? If people are out there doing drugs like methamphetamine,
what do you think? Would you let your kids do drugs and or drink?
Okay, Drugs? No, because I don't want my kids married to be messed up. But say they're like 17, they've got all their friends, they want to drink and be stupid. I'd much rather them do it illegally
at my house,
home, safely at home,
exactly,
rather than go out with friends illegally doing
and then
this,
accidentally get in trouble or get hurt
doing
or
something
something
stupid. Exactly. Because kids are going to do it illegally regardless. There's no stopping that. Kids like to have a mind of their own and do whatever the hell they want. I'd much rather them be safe doing it than them waiting for the age limit and just doing it illegally. In my opinion, the age limit really doesn't do anything.
Absolutely. That's what I think too.
All right, so what is our next topic, Eddie? That is
Mary Jane.
Bro. Okay.
Woohoo!
Marijuana. That's lately has been a very
talked about topic.
Very talked about topic, just because California just recently in the last few months practically legalized all of it. Practically made everything legal.
What do you think about that?
But I think it's good, personally. I don't smoke it myself. I'm not exactly a pothead by any means, but I feel like it should be legal. I feel like it should be used.
I mean, I heard it has a lot of good creative
qualities. So it like helps your brain
it
start
helps you
like that.
be a lot more creative and stuff. So.
I like the legalization of it more because there's a lot of medical usages that actually come out of marijuana, as far as the oils and the wax.
Have you ever seen that video with that kid
with the seizures?
Who was having a seizure and they just put it under his foot?
Yeah.
He didn't even ingest it.
Yeah.
It was literally just under his foot.
It goes into your pores.
And he just relaxed after like 15 seconds.
It goes into your pores and into your bloodstream and really quickly, and it helps people with seizures and things like that. There are even people with major brain trauma or degenerative brain diseases, like people with Alzheimer's, who've been treated with cannabis oil, and it's helping them a lot. They're actually gaining parts of their memory back and things like that. Mm-hmm. I think that's good, personally.
I think marijuana's good. I just don't think that you should abuse it. Every now and then, take it. It's fine. Just like any other thing, moderation is key. Yeah. But if you take it excessively, there's actually it has brain. It starts giving you brain issues. Short-term memory gets jacked up.
Like it's the same with when you drink alcohol. We just had that conversation too. You know, it does mess up your brain in excess. You're losing brain cells. You're hurting yourself the more that you use it. And that's one of the most interesting things that I know we were talking about this before starting the video, is that pretty much a lot of the laws that have been legalized for marijuana are very similar to alcohol.
No, they are. Yeah. For you have to be 21. You can only have a certain amount. You can't drink in public.
You're not allowed to have it open in your vehicle. It has to be sealed. You can't be driving under the influence.
You can only have 1 ounce of flour on you, and if it's concentrated, you can only have 8 grams.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean...
They're the same regulations that are on alcohol, in a sense, are on marijuana. And I think that's good because it's more, when they're legalizing it, they're normalizing it as well. It's something that we're already used to as far as alcohol goes. So with all these different regulations being added onto it, it's not going to bother anybody because it's already a thing that's in act with other parts and sales. Mm-hmm. See, when I first... tried marijuana. I was dating this girl at the time who was an absolute major pothead, never left the house, wouldn't come to parties with me or anything. We'd literally just stay at home and we'd just have sex. That was literally what our relationship was. It was probably the worst relationship I've ever actually had. But one time, it was by accident. Also, I didn't smoke it. It was edibles. We'd come home and her mother had made these brownies. And me, an innocent child, I was 17. I'd never really smoked marijuana or done anything like that before. I see brownies on the counter. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, let's go. I love brownies.
Nope.
I had 2 of those motherfuckers. I had 2 of them. And so did my girlfriend. We sat there watching movies before I started to feel a little weird. And her mother came home and was like, you guys ate some of my brownies? And she was like, we were like, yeah. Yeah, and then at this point, we're completely high off our ass watching a movie. And I'm just laughing at things.
Did you know you were high?
At one point, I had to assume. But I was like, oh no. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do.
I just start throwing up, man.
It's already in your system. You can throw up all you want, but it's gone. And so I remember this specifically. We were watching a movie, and the movie had been over, and the credits were going, and I was laughing at the credits. I don't know.
Wow, pretty white letters on a black screen
something
background.
About the credits just completely mesmerized me to the point where I was like, this. Ha ha.
You're probably laughing at names.
Yeah, I know. I'm all looking. I don't know exactly what I'm looking at, and then but I didn't like the feeling that it gave me necessarily because one, I was a little scared. because I have a very religious stepfather that I had to go home to.
Whoop.
And I went home. I had to walk home, and I think that was a good thing that I had to walk home because I think it kind of sobered me up a little bit. Because when I got home, I sat there like this, trying to watch TV next to my stepdad, just like this. Like I kept looking at him. Like I swear to God, I was being as suspicious as humanly possible. Thank God I'm weird, and they know I'm weird, so they don't just assume that I'm on drugs. But yeah, it was just it was a bad situation. Just personally, I feel like the legalization is good, but I'm more in it for the medical uses than the actual smoking and people enjoying themselves out of it. Because
thinking of those people that freaking take like huge freaking lines of wax and stuff, that's ridiculous, man. I don't know how you can do stuff like that. That's too much.
I've met a few people that have smoked too much and just absolutely fried their own brains. Like they'll literally, there was a person that used to come in to the tattoo shop anytime I was in there, and he would literally come in and he'd ask us questions and we'd answer them and he'd walk away, and then he'd come back in 5 minutes later and ask the same exact question. Every time. And then he always smelled and he always reeked of marijuana every time he came in. He was high off his ass. His eyes were red. And he would just do that all the time.
We were talking about abuse, man. Yeah. It's not good to abuse stuff.
It was ridiculous. I was like, this guy is so high that he's forgetting what's happening within the last 5 minutes. That's bad, you know? And that's the only thing that I don't advocate with it, is that much excess. When I get older, though, the way I see the legalization of marijuana is when I get older, I would hope that after going through all the medical uses that they find something that actually can help. And if I'm older and I get cancer and they completely banned this and never did anything with it and didn't use it, well, then I'm going to suffer, aren't I? There's no reason for me to. If they can use this now to find something that helps cancer or helps separate diseases, it's going to do nothing but help people in the future. Myself,
but I think most people
possibly.
use it recreationally than medically.
Yeah, most people use it recreationally, but for me personally, I feel like there's such a large impact that can be made in the world using it medically. And they've proven that a few times already through people who have seizures or Alzheimer's.
I just think like we have so much power in the government and stuff. Like they have so much power. I think they can do something about it
for the most part,
but
yeah.
I don't think they are, simply because of like
just what
I'm talking about, like drug dealers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like the illegal sales of it. They could do something, but I think they're making money off of it somehow.
For the most part. Here's the thing too: is if they're not really trying to stop any states from legalizing it at all. There's no real push other than just people in the states themselves that don't want it to be legal. And if a certain amount of states do indeed legalize marijuana, it will then go up to the federal judge and become legalized federally. Because I think it's 24 or so states need it to be legalized before they can put it before a federal judge and have it be not a part of the minority rather than a part of the majority, and put it in and say, hey, we want it legalized countrywide. And at that point, I think was when most things would be able to get done, most research and
But I think they should legalize it for medical for the people who are trying to make it to become a cure for stuff.
Exactly.
They should totally legalize it no matter what. Like,
yeah, no matter what.
If somebody comes in, they say like they have to. Another thing too, it's so easy to get your card. Like you just go in there and be like, wow, my butthole hurts because of some weird water,
something or another.
Like they're gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
but.
I had a chance to get a card at one point. They asked me.
Yeah, I think we've all had a chance. Walk down in Long Beach, and there's like 5 shops. They'll be like, "You want a medical
give you
card?"
A card right there. Yeah.
And then before you walk in, they'll be like, "Hey, just tell us that you're having back pain, and you can't really sleep much." And then they'll give you like a sativa, and you just go to a medical shop and you get it like that. I think they should do legit background check. You have to turn in your doctor's notes. You have to turn in like legit doctor, like to saying.
Well, see, that's the thing though.
Hey, I'm actually sick. I actually need this.
That's my biggest point of all of this.
And it should be free and legal for the people who actually need it.
Here's my biggest issue with that is that with the legalizations that they had beforehand with the cards, that shows you just how much of a joke it is to have marijuana illegal. When you go to a doctor and they will find any possible reason to give you a card so that you can smoke marijuana. That shows you how much of a joke it is to have something illegal. That's like having crayons illegal, you know? Like, you can't color. Stop. And then somebody walks up to you and just hands you some crayons, like, no, you do you, kid.
Ahead,
you
man.
do your life. Like,
here, I'll give you this
idiotic.
hall pass so that you can walk through the hall.
Yeah, here you go. Go anywhere you want. And that's why I found the legalization laws before this new set so idiotic, because there was really no point to them, because anybody could get it regardless.
Yeah, I don't know. I say just legalize everything. The people who want to destroy themselves, destroy yourself. Who cares? That's on you. As far put an age limit.
Thinking about it,
but
though,
legalize it.
Thinking about it though, in the long run, I think having it illegal does help people, because as we said before, when people try things and they think they can just try it and put it down, but it's actually addictive, it's a problem, right?
That's what you have
but
to
most
have.
people don't. Most people are tempted, but most people don't, because it's illegal. So if it's legal and there's no reason not to, I feel like a lot more people would end up actually in,
Addicted.
in an addiction with this drug.
Well,
so
then that's on you, no?
Well, that's the thing, though. But I feel like it would really skyrocket addiction.
That's why you
numbers.
bring in education into standpoint.
True,
to
more
educate
education
people.
about
Hey,
it.
if you do this drug, you're gonna ruin your life. And if you're still dumb enough to go and do it, that's your fault.
You can
I'm
do it.
not gonna stand there and be like, no, don't, unless they're my kids or my family members. Maybe I'll step in a little bit, but I'm not gonna stop people from doing
there
it.
definitely needs to be
Educate 'em.
more. There needs to be an entire class dedicated to.
There needs to be a class where there's
different
like
types of
graphic
drugs.
photos of bad addicted people to stuff, like your teeth, horrible teeth, destroyed. You turn into a legit skeleton.
Dear God.
You're losing your hair. You look like a freaking vampire, disgusting Schmeagle looking creature.
Okay, sure. It's all right. It's all right.
and then-
You're going very descriptive.
No, that's what I'm gonna show. That's what I'm gonna show my kids. Like, hey,
the kid walking
this
up.
is what you're gonna become if you even lick some type of drug.
Somebody's gonna walk up with a needle, and there's gonna be a picture in the class, and they just have a needle, like, my precious. Like,
Exactly,
oh God.
dude.
Like, what happened to you, man? Steve, what happened? Oh dear Lord. But no, yeah, that's why I also believe that the legalization of marijuana isn't really that big of an issue, because it doesn't do all the things that these other drugs do to people. Sure, in excess it can warp your mind a little bit, but when you smoke meth, you're losing teeth, you're losing body weight quickly, things like that. Or people who
Literally
take speed and sit there.
Venom into your body.
Yeah. Like people who they do speed, and they're literally sitting out there with their hose watering the concrete
for like 8 hours.
like-
For like
like
3 hours, dude. Just
watering the concrete. Like, oh, these flowers are gonna be beautiful when they come up from under this.
Yeah, right.
It's just.
He's like, maybe because I took speed, I can make these grow faster.
Oh no. All right, well, I think now we can close it all down. So I think we've talked about everything that we've meant to talk about for this episode.
In excess.
Yeah, in excess and all that.
Next time on Chalk Talks.
The
next episode.
The next episode. If you come back for the next episode, we will be talking about some different things. Our next episode is going to be a little lighter than this one. I think we went a little heavy for the first episode.
We want to surprise you guys.
Yeah, we want to show that we mean business. Now, for the second episode, we'll be talking about gaming as far as our favorite games, as far as how we feel about exclusives or platforms, things like that. So if you're willing to wait and check out for another video, that's what we've got in store for you.
That's about it.
Yeah,